Welcome to your reset with Christiane Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the body-mind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello, this is Christiane Piano, and this week's episode is a reflection on going inward. The etymology of the word inward in Old English is inward, inmost, sincere, internal, intrinsic, deep. And the definition is something that's directed or proceeding towards the inside, coming in from outside. And examples of other words for inward would be incoming, entering, penetrating, inwards, inward bound, going in, moving, arriving, approaching, landing. Now, when we live in a world where our attention is continuously drawn outward, taking a moment each day, or perhaps a couple of times a week, to go inward is not only extremely supportive of your nervous system, it is also a moment to simply slow down, pause, and be with yourself. Many people today feel an overload, whether it be the responsibilities of their job, caring for loved ones, or simply doing their daily chores, and trying to make it all fit into the 24 hours of the day, 7 days of the week. When their attention is on the outer world, it's like having the on button stuck on. Do you find yourself constantly being on? Do you notice a nervous energy that arises when you take a moment to pause, create space to disengage with the world? Or perhaps you feel relief at first, but after a small amount of time passes, you're like, okay, let's get back to it. Do you notice your experience when you simply sit with what is? Do you have a jam-packed schedule or a need to plan? When you think of spending time purposely each day to check in with yourself and the state of your inner terrain, what excuses do you make or explanation do you give yourself as to why something else took priority? Taking some time to pause, you can ask yourself the question, how is it I am using my time? You have to make a living and support your loved ones, but do you make the conscious effort to arrange your life that you can do some deep looking And if your answer is no, why not? Consciously choosing to create this space to reflect on your use of time is a wonderful way to uncover what is working, what is not, and its impact on your body-mind, the wear and tear of daily life, and whether or not something needs to be modified, adjusted, let go of, or perhaps even invited in. Taking the time to care for yourself, nourish yourself on all levels, and empty out, release, and let go, soften, and allow yourself to simply be, or perhaps notice just how much you are resisting, clinging, or resigning. You can take note of where you are operating from and perhaps invite a shift and adjust based on how you are feeling, energy levels, and even perhaps modify your schedule if you have overcommitted. I'm going to share a story with you now, so sit back, close your eyes perhaps, and enjoy. Once, a university professor went to visit a well-respected Zen master to learn about Zen. The master first invited him to sit for a cup of tea. The professor sat down and started talking about Zen. The master quietly prepared and poured the tea. When the tea was filled to the cup's brim, he kept pouring. The professor watched the overflowing cup until he could no longer restrain himself. "It's full. No more will go in," blurted the professor. The same with your mind. How can I teach you Zen unless you first empty your cup? In this podcast, we are always taking a look at our relationship to ourselves, growth, and well-being. And as you are listening, you may notice your thoughts, perspective, reactions, and whether or not there is even space for anything other than what you already know. The main takeaway from this story is that we can't learn something that we think we already know. And if we don't take a moment to go inward every once in a while, we may not be aware of just how much we are holding on to, how filled up we are with what we are attached to, gripping on to, resigned to, and what we think we know. And if you think you know yourself, then what is there to learn? When we come from, "I already know this," where is the opportunity to uncover or discover something new that perhaps you have not seen yet, witnessed, uncovered, and or discovered? In learning about yourself, the person you think you know, you are often filled up, and there is no space to uncover or discover something new, as there's no room. Do you ever feel crunched on time? Like there's no space for a pause, room to be, room to breathe? Perhaps you sense there's no room to consider me? If this is the case, you will feel this in your body-mind. And if you are not feeling it, then this is a sense of disconnection. Now, the good news is a reconnection is always possible, and it starts from realizing perhaps you are living in your mind and you are ignoring your body. Learning to listen to your body from your body is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. And all that is needed is a willingness mixed in with some curiosity. With all that I have going on in my life, how is this impacting my inner world? How can I meet myself where I am and create some more balance and prioritize self-care for a moment in time? You see, when you shift your focus inward, you will perhaps notice the rhythm of your movements. You may sense the pace of your thoughts, the lack of a pause between thoughts, the incessant concern, worry, buildup of stress, fear and picking apart, critiquing and analyzing. Your body will feel tense and knotted, and this will show up in your breathing. Your breathing reflects the quality of your mind, and when you are filled with tension, this will zap your energy levels as the natural state of your body is to soften. Learning to be on, do what we need to do, and come back into a resting state is an essential for your health. When you get to the end of the day, if you have been going on high gear all day, you will struggle in transitioning into the deep sleep states that are required for your body to do its necessary maintenance and recovery. When you check in with yourself throughout the day in bite-sized nuggets and create little pockets of time dedicated to checking in on your holding patterns and allowing yourself to release the tension as an ongoing practice, softening and allowing yourself to breathe more deeply, you will experience a surge in your energy levels, a shift in your mood, and your awareness of your pacing and its impact on how you are moving through life. When you move inward, you have an opportunity to observe the reality of what is unfolding within your experience. And in that space you created, you can then make choices on what is needed from moment to purposefully reset and come back to balance. So often, what is driving the constant doing and looking outward is an innate desire for some type of recognition. Being a good worker bee mentality. A need to produce and arrive at some point of success. Public perception. A desire to be accepted and loved. If you have done any inner work whatsoever, you are probably aware of some of your internal drivers. The want to get it right. The need to look good. Whatever it may be for you. All of these drivers are operating in the background, sometimes more noticeable and sometimes less. And it is often a sign that you have gotten disconnected from who you truly are. This is an experience of something is missing. And this is a reflection of your sense of connection. Most human beings today are not living their lives from wholeness, but more of trying to fix something that is wrong, be it within themselves or some aspect of their lives. There is a reaching, a desire to attain, a sense of, I'm almost there, let me just get this right, and then it will all be okay. Then I will be okay, whatever that looks like for you. When you move your attention inward and are aware that you have lost connection to your wholeness, you can then lean into practices that support you in remembering. This is the whole reason I created your Reset Body, Mind, Wellbeing Resource Center. All of the content leads you back to remembering who you truly are. Lao Tzu stated, when you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Once you have remembered, not as an intellectual construct, but as an experience, you literally feel whole again. You are aware that there is nothing to fix, nothing is missing, and you can be with yourself and life as it is. And when you eventually re-engage with the world, you will be coming from a sense of, I am complete. This does not imply that you are perfect or that you do not have a desire to learn and grow. But you are not coming from a lack. Lack is not your driver. When this unfolds, you will be creating a life not from lack. Something is missing, something is off or not quite right, but as is. You see, when you come from lack, you will just get more lack. When you come from experience of whole, you can tweak from day to day the workings of your inner terrain, and you will experience increased joy, freedom, and overall well-being. This all will support you in being more with whatever you may be navigating. As with any practice, especially when it is new, you will want to schedule an appointment with yourself. And may you play with the timing of the day of the week, and how much you dedicate to going inward. But once you get into the rhythm of it, the need to schedule it in will gradually fade away, as it will be like brushing your teeth in the morning, something you do for personal hygiene, on the daily perhaps, even more than once a day. I will leave you with this beautiful quote. It's by a gentleman named Billy Chapata. There is no final version to you. There is no finish line to growth. There is no end to your progression. You are an endless draft, a poem in constant revision, a story with infinite pages. Allow yourself to become whoever you want, whenever you want, without rushing your evolution. As always, may you have found this episode supportive in your personal reset, and may it contribute to your overall body-mind well-being. Feel free to reach out and share what resonated, pass it on, like, or share. If you are interested in working with me on any level of body-mind well-being, whether it be through individual body-mind maturation work sessions, perhaps participating in a series, individual privates, or through my video on-demand services, if you have questions, if you would like to engage on any level, feel free to schedule a free 15-minute consult in the appointment section, www.christianepiano.com, or email me directly at growth@christianepiano.com.